Life is a series of intertwined stories, tales filled with all that really matters. It is my aim to explore these stories, whether it's religion, philosophy, history, or just what we believe about the world around us. I fully believe it is these stories that make us who we are, so hopefully you'll follow me as I search for what makes us. My name is Jason, and this is my rickety soapbox. You always have a choice. A podium and a prison is each a place, one high and the other low. But in either place, your freedom of choice can be maintained if you so wish. Epictetus. All of the great Stoic philosophers of the past lived vastly different lives under vastly different circumstances. Zeno was a merchant sailor who was shipwrecked in a foreign city. Musonius was a political exile on a barren island. Seneca was a teacher to a murderous emperor who didn't appreciate his teachings. Marcus Aurelius was himself a Roman emperor. And Epictetus was a crippled slave. The one thing they all had in common was the belief that the only thing within their control was their day-to-day choices. Out of any of those names I mentioned, you would think that Epictetus, more than most, would have disagreed with that statement. Epictetus was born a slave and died in exile. He had a crippling leg injury from childhood that was thought to have been inflicted by a slaver. Even his true name is unknown. Epictetus in Greek means gained or acquired, designating him as property. As a slave, he lived a life devoid of choice, yet he did not see it that way. Instead, he saw his apparent limits as the freedom to concentrate on his inner self. When at one point he gained favor with his master, he chose to use that favor to study more philosophy and devote more time to that inner self. In Epictetus's mind, his circumstances were no different than that of Marcus Aurelius. They were both slaves to the duties associated with their stations. For the two of them, the only freedom they had was the same, their freedom of choice, the choice in how they saw things and how they reacted to them. To this day, that is still the only true freedom that we have. No matter what your station is, focus on what is in your control as opposed to what is not. Things may be tough now, but tomorrow they may be great. Today, we may feel like everything is taken from us, but tomorrow the world might be our oyster. The one thing that never changes is our freedom of choice, and understanding this gives us clarity. Whoever we are, wherever we are, what matters is our choices. Who do I want to be? What are my options? Where will this choice put me? How will I react? And will it help? Those are the questions. Those are the choices. How will you answer? What will you choose? My name is Jason, and this has been my rickety soapbox. Before you go, don't forget you can follow me on Medium or anywhere you listen to your podcasts. And if you'd like to support me, you can do so on either Patreon or Buy Me a Coffee. So thanks again, and see you next week.